Hello students, welcome to lecture 10 of laws of motion with Naveen sir. So in this lecture we are going to discuss some numericals based on the mixed concept. That means whatever the concepts we learn regarding laws of motion, based on that concepts we are going to do some numericals in today's lecture. So before going to do the numericals, let us recall the what are all the concepts we discussed in a quick manner, right? So we begin our session with the Newton's laws of motion. So Newton's first law, Newton's second law. Newton's first law gives the information about inertia. So if mass is more, inertia is more, that means mass gives the measurement of inertia. This is regarding with Newton's first law. In the same way, after this we discussed about the momentum. So what is momentum? So momentum is the impact created by body on another body due to its motion. What is the formula for momentum? So momentum P equals to mb we can write. If they are asking change in momentum equals to final momentum minus initial momentum. So mb minus mu, we can also write m times of v minus u is the expression for change in momentum. And then after we discussed the Newton's second law. According to Newton's second law, the rate of change of linear momentum is directly proportional to applied force acting on it. If change in momentum and time interval is known, we can use this formula. Otherwise, if mass and acceleration given, we can write F equals to ma. So sometimes they are interlinking the concept with the laws of motion. So then we are going to write acceleration as v minus u by t. So after writing this, we are going to get the formula for force as m into v minus u by t. So sometimes we can also write a is equals to v square minus u square by 2s. So this is we are going to get from third equation of motion, that is v square minus u square is equals to 2as. So from this we are writing a as v square minus u square by 2s. So after substituting here, we are going to get m into v square minus u square by 2s. Okay. So we also discussed about the Newton's third law. What is Newton's third law? So according to Newton's third law, to every action there is an equivalent opposite reaction. F12 is equals to F21, but in opposite direction. And then we studied about the law of conservation of linear momentum. According to law of conservation of linear momentum, if external force acting on the system is zero, then momentum is said to be conserved. So what is the meaning of conservation? So initial momentum of the system is equal to final momentum of the system. So based on this law of conservation of linear momentum, we discussed so many applications. So in that we discussed gun and bullet system. So when a bullet is fired from the gun, what will happen? The bullet moves in the forward direction. So due to its action on the bullet and reaction is on the gun. So due to its action and reaction, that gun will move backward direction. In this case, the initial momentum is 0 and final momentum we are going to write m1 v1 plus m2 v2 we are going to write. So here they are going to frame the question based on this concept, like the bullet is coming with a so and so velocity, then mass of the bullet they will give. So with the help of this expression, we are going to write m1 v1 plus m2 v2 equals to 0. Therefore, we are writing m1 v1 is equals to minus m2 v2. So for suppose if one terms I am considering for the bullet and 2 is for the gun, so whatever the quantity missed in this, we can find out the missed quantity. And we also discuss about the explosion of a bomb. In a case of a explosion of a bomb also the same concept. So initial momentum is equals to final momentum, m1 v1 is equals to minus m2 v2. And then we discussed about the collision. So in collision we studied about, so what are the formulas for the final velocity of a body after collision, initial velocity, final velocity of a second body and first body. So there we got different formulas. So v1 is equals to m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2, and then v2. So what is v2? v2 is equal to 2m1 u1 by m1 plus m2 plus m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into u2. So these are the formulas we discussed. In the same way, we also discuss some graphical applications also. So sometimes they are going to give the graph between velocity and time. So with the help of this graph, we are going to calculate acceleration. So the slope of the graph gives acceleration. By finding the slope, we are going to get the value of force if the mass is given in the question. Okay, so these are the some formulas what we have covered. In the same way, we also discussed so collision, perfectly inelastic collision. What is perfectly inelastic collision? After collision, both the bodies are stick together, they move with the common velocity. The common velocity formula m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. This is when both the objects are moving in the same direction, participate in collision and stick together. If both the bodies are moving opposite to each other, then common velocity we can write m1 u1 minus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. So these are the formulas is enough to do the problems based on the concepts. Okay, right. Now let us do the problems one by one. See the question number 1 here. So a constant force acts on an object of mass 5 kg. So mass of the object is given as 5 kg. A duration of, that means time interval is given, delta t is given as 2 seconds, and increases its velocity. So due to application of the force, its speed increases to 3 meter per second to 7 meter per second. So they are asking find the magnitude of applied force. So here applied force is unknown quantity. So but remaining information is enough to do this. So this is u and v. So what is the formula for this? F equals to ma. But here we don't have the direct relation for the acceleration. That means there is no acceleration is given in the question. So but the time interval is given and change in velocity. Therefore we can write mass into final velocity minus initial velocity by time interval. Therefore F equals to 5 into 7 minus 3 by 2. So 5, 4 by 2. So we are going to get 10 newtons is the force acting on the body. So this is the magnitude of the force. Now they are extending the question. If the force was applied for a duration of 5 seconds, that means if the same force is applied for the duration of 5 seconds, then what will be the final velocity? Now the scenario will be like this. Now the force is unknown. What is the magnitude of the force? 10 newtons. Here how long it is acting? So delta t is 5 seconds. What is the initial velocity? 3 meter per second. Then so what will be the final velocity of the body? Right, so F equals to m into v minus u by t. So F value is 10, 5, v is unknown and u is 3, and time is how many seconds? So 5 seconds. So 5 get cancelled. So 10 is equals to v minus 3. Therefore v equals to 13 meter per second is the final velocity of the object. Right. Let us see the next one. So which would require a greater force? Accelerating a 2 kg body at 5 meter per second. So 2 kg object is accelerating with 5 meter per second square. And then another object is what? 4 kg of block. So here 2 kg of block and here 4 kg of block. So to set into acceleration 2 meter per second square. So simple, mass is known and acceleration. Let us find out the force value. F1 is equal to m1 a1. So m1 is what? 2 into, and a1 is 5, therefore 10 newtons. Then what about F2? F2 is equal to M2 A2, 4 into 2, 8 newtons. So which will require greater force? The object 2 kg mass to accelerate 5 meter per second square requires greater force. So in this way we can do the problem related to this. Right, now let us next one. Right, a motor car is moving with a velocity of 108 km per hour. So velocity is given. What is the velocity? So u is given as 108 km per hour. So it is not in SI system. So we need to convert this SI into meter per second by multiplying with 5 by 18. So we know this, how to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. Sir, why you are multiplying this? Because 1 kilometer by 1 hour is equal to 1000 by 3600. So 1 kilometer 1000 meter, 1 hour 3600 seconds. So after simplifying this, we are going to get 1 kilometer per hour equals to 5 by 18 meter per second. That's why to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, we need to multiply with 5 by 18, or to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour, we need to multiply with 18 by 5. So here 18 6 are. So Q will be 30 meter per second. It takes 4 seconds to stop after the brakes applied. That means it is the body is brought into rest due to application of force. How long? 4 seconds. That means after the application of the force, it will take 4 seconds to be into the rest. Right? What is the mass of the motor? So 1000 kg along with the passenger. So again the same concept. So F is equals to MA. There again they are asking force here. How much force exerted by the brakes on the motor? So let us find M into, I am writing as V minus U by T. So M 1000 and V 0, 30 and 4. So 4 2s are 5, 250. So minus 7500 newtons. Sir, why we are getting negative sign? Already I told you, if the negative sign is nothing but what? It is retarding force. That means due to application of the force, the velocity of the object is decreasing. So what is the initial velocity? 30 meter per second. Then what is the final velocity? The final velocity of the object is 0. What happens is the velocity is decreasing. So velocity is decreasing, what we can say? Acceleration will be negative. So if acceleration is negative, then automatically force we are getting as a retarding force. This is the importance of the negative sign. They are going to ask whether it may be accelerating force or retarding force. So it is in retarding force. That means retarding force nothing but the opposing force. Right, next one. So here's the graph given to you. So velocity and time graph is given to you. So if velocity and time graph is given, they are asking what is the, so here the velocity time graph of a ball of mass 20 gram. So mass of the ball is given as 20 gram. We need to convert into SI. So 20 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kg. Right. So moving along a straight line on a long table, how much force does the table exert on the ball to bring it into rest? That means again here the on the table the ball is rolling. So when it is rolling by its own, after some time it is coming into rest. What is the meaning of this? The table is applying some opposing force to bring the body into rest. They're asking what is the opposing force. So opposing force, definitely it may be a retarding force on. That means the acceleration should be negative and velocity should be reducing. So but there is no information in numerical form, directly they given in the form of graphical. So velocity time graph, vt graph is given. So vt graph, slope of vt graph gives acceleration. Okay, so let us take the coordinates of this. Is the initial point. So initial point time 0 and velocity is 20. And what is the final time? 10 and 0. So this is t1 u1, t2 u2. u1 nothing but what? Initial velocity. u2 nothing but final velocity. Therefore acceleration, so v minus u by t2 minus t1. So v value is 0. 0 minus u value is 20. And what is the time interval? 10 minus 0. Therefore minus 2 meter per second square is the negative acceleration produced by the table on the ball. Now our task will be easy. F equals to ma. So 20 into 10 power of minus 3 into minus 2. So what we are going to get here? Sorry, here the velocity is given in centimeter per second. So centimeter per second square. So 2 into 10 power of, by converting that into meter, so 2 into 10 power of minus 2 meter per second square. So 2 into 2 minus 40 into 10 power of minus 5, or minus 4 into 10 power of minus 4 Newton. That means it is nearly equal to 0.0004 Newtons. So negative sign, the importance of the negative sign is nothing but it is retarding force. That's it. Right, let us see the next one. So a bullet of mass 20 gram horizontally fired with a velocity 150 meter per second from a pistol of mass 2 kg. What is the recoil velocity of the pistol? So here when a gun and bullet system is given, definitely the system follows law of conservation of linear momentum. If the system follows law of conservation of linear momentum, so momentum is constant. If momentum is constant, we can write, we know the direct formula. So m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equals to 0. Therefore we can write m1 v1 minus m2 v2. So two terms I am considering for the gun and one I am considering for the bullet. Let us write the values of this. So m1, that means mass of the bullet is 20 gram, 20 into 10 power of minus 3 kg. And what is the velocity of the bullet? 150 meter per second. And then what is the mass of the gun? m2 is equals to 2 kg. They are asking what is the recoil speed of the gun. So our aim is to find v2. So minus m1 v1 by m2. So m1 is what? So minus 20 into 10 power of minus 3 into v1 150 by 2. So 10. So minus 1500 into 10 power of minus 3. So we are going to get, so minus 1.5 meter per second is the recoil speed of the gun. Sir, here what the negative sign gives? So here the negative sign gives the opposite direction of motion of the gun. That means as the bullet is moving forward, the gun will move backward, because this is action and reaction. So the bullet moves forward and the gun moves backward. That is the importance of the negative sign in this problem. Right, let us do next one. So a girl of mass 40 kg jumps with a horizontal velocity 5 meter per second onto a stationary cart with a frictionless wheels. So here is a cart. So it has wheels frictionless. That means there is no loss of force due to the friction exerted by the floor on the cart. So what is the mass of the girl? So girl is of mass 40 kg. And what is the initial velocity of the girl? Is 5 meter per second. Then here it is given that mass of the cart is given as 3 kg and it is at rest. Okay, so when she jumps on it, so along with the cart, the girl is also set into motion. They are asking what is the velocity of girl as the cart starts moving. So together they are moving. So simply we can consider here there is no external force acting on it. So when there is no external force acting on it, is momentum is constant. This is an application of the law of conservation of linear momentum. So when both are moving with the same velocity, that is known to be common velocity. So we know the formula for common velocity. What is the formula for common velocity? So m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Okay, let us substitute the values. m1 40, m2 sorry u1 5 and m2 u2. u2 is 0, that's why the next term will be 0, and m1 plus m2. So 40 plus 3, so 43. So 45 by 43 meter per second, or if we simplify furtherly, so 1 point something. So 1 point something meter per second is the common velocity of both girl and as well as the cart, because it is an example for perfectly inelastic collision, because both are sticking together and they are moving with a common velocity. Let us see next one. So two hockey players of opposite teams, while trying to hit hockey ball on the ground, collide and immediately become entangled. So and immediately become entangled. One has a mass of 60 kg. So two players, so two hockey players, so they are moving opposite direction. Then here is the ball on the ground. Right. So what is the mass of the player 1? So mass of the player 1 is 60 kg and he was moving with a velocity of 5 meter per second. Next, while other has the mass of 55 kg and he is moving with a velocity of 6 meter per second towards the first player. So the first player is moving along positive x direction, the next player is moving along negative direction. That means the two players are moving opposite to each other. So when they are moving opposite to each other, according to sign convention, u2 we can consider as a negative sign. Then they are entangled. That means they hit each other, they coming into physical contact. So after entangle, in which direction with what velocity will they move after they become entangled? So when they coming in physical contact, so with what velocity both are moving in the same way, in which direction? Okay na? So this is also an example for collision only, but what kind of collision? Perfectly inelastic collision. They are moving together for some time after the collision. So let us write common velocity of both. Common velocity of both players after entangled. Okay, so Vc is equal to m1 u1 minus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Why I am getting negative sign? Because the players are moving in opposite direction. Okay, right, substitute the values m1, so 60 into u1 5 minus 55 into 6 by, so 60 plus 55 115. So this is 300 minus 330 by 115. So here you can observe that whose momentum is maximum. So player 2 has greater momentum. So we know that in which direction the momentum is greater, in that direction the object will move. So we are going to get a direction, in what direction they are moving. So in the direction of player 2, both will move. That means they are both, after entangle, both are moving in the direction of the player 2. So player 2 is moving along negative axis. So after entangle also they are moving along negative axis. If the player 1 has the greater momentum, then both will move in the direction of the player 1. Let us finish this. So minus 30 by 115. So minus 6, 5 2s are 5 3s are. So further you can simplify. So this is the common velocity of the both players after entangle. Then what is the direction? In the direction of the player 2, both will move. Right, let us see next one. So two objects of mass is 100 gram and 200 gram. So m1 is given as 100 gram. So convert this into kg. So 0.1 kg. And m2 is given as 200 gram. So expressing in kg, 0.2 kg. They are moving with a velocity. u1 is given as 2 meter per second. u2 is given as 1 meter per second. They collide after collision. First object moves with a velocity of v1 is given as 1.67 meter per second. They are asking what is the velocity of the second object. So here we are going to use the formula v2 is equals to r. Let us do according to law of conservation of linear momentum. m1 u1 plus m2 u2, that is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Let us substitute here. So 0.1 into 2 plus 0.2 into 1, m1 v1. So m1 is 0.1. What is the velocity of the first person after the collision? 1.67 plus m2. What is m2? m2 is 0.2 into v2. Our aim is to find v2 only. So 0.2 plus 0.2 So here it will be 0.167 plus 0.2 into V2. So m1 0.1 and its velocity is 2, right? So m2 is 0.2, its velocity is 1, right? So 0.4 0.167 plus 0.2 V2. So let us say take this at 0.4 minus 0.167. So 3 and 2. So 0.233 by 0.2 equals to V2. So we can write 2.33 by 2, 1.1 and this is 3. So V2 is equal to 1.16 meter per second. Once again check the values here. So first object is 100, 0.1 kg, moving with the velocity 2 meter, right? 2 meter. And second object is of 200 grams, 0.2 kg, moving with 1, okay, right? And they collide, the first object moves at, okay, so 1.67, 0.1, 0.167 in plus 0.2 into V2, okay, right? So this is the velocity of the second body after the collision. Right, let us do one more. An object of mass 0.2 kg kept at rest. A force of 3 newtons acts for 5 seconds. Find the distance moved by body in 5 seconds. They are asking distance. So to find the distance, first of all let us take what are the given values right here. So 0.2 kg and a force of 3 Newton, F is equal to 3 Newton acts on it. How long it is acting? Delta T is equal to 5 seconds. They are asking in this duration what is the distance travelled by the particle. So to find the distance travelled by the particle, so we know we have one more information here. The object is at rest. If it is at rest, its initial velocity considered as 0. So we need to find its distance travelled. So for that purpose, let us find out its acceleration. So with what we are going to find? With the help of F equals to ma. Why? Force is given 3, mass 0.2 into A. Therefore A is equal to 30 by 2, that is 15 meter per second square, that is acceleration. So if acceleration is known and time interval is known, so can we find out distance traveled? Distance traveled, S is equal to ut plus half at square. So u, what is the u? 0 into t plus 1 by 2 into 15 into t square. So what is t square? So 5 square. So 7.5 into 25. So 25 5 is a 125. 25 7 is a 175. So 7 8 1. So 187. So 187.5 meters is the distance traveled in the duration. So here there is no information about acceleration. So we are going to find out acceleration with help of force and mass of the body. Then we are using the second equation of motion to find the distance traveled by the body. Right, let us see next one. A boy traveling in a car at a speed of 108 km per hour. So speed is given. So what is the speed? 108 km per hour. So it is not SI unit. We need to convert this SI into this kilometer per hour into meter per second. I told you that already. So we should multiply with 5 by 18. So the initial velocity we are going to get 30 meter per second. So The brakes are applied so as to produce an acceleration of a is equals to minus 0.2 meter per second square. How far does the car go before it brought to rest? Right? So acceleration is given. So we know that which expression can be useful. They are asking what is the distance traveled. Let us use third equation, v square minus u square is equals to 2as, because it is going to stop. Final velocity will be 0. They are asking distance traveled. S is equals to v square minus u square by 2a we can write. So v square, what is v square here? 0 square, and u square 30 square by 2 into minus 0.2. So minus 900 by minus 0.4. So minus minus get cancelled. So 9000 by 4 we can write. 4 twos are, again 4 twos are, 4 fives are. Therefore the distance travelled before coming into rest 2250 meters. Okay, so in this way we can do the problem related to the force. Okay, take care, stay safe. In next lecture again we are going to do some more numericals based on the same concept.